So today I'm in the amazingly mint and pink studio of Lou Graves, and you've seen him. We've been doing an interview like a few months ago. Yeah. At HelloCon. So we've learned that he's a lifestyle OG.
Yep.
He discovered that on the interview, maybe also. I know that you guys on my videos, you like my interviews and you think that representation matters, and so I would like also today to go a little bit more deeper in another interview and talk about your gender transformation.
Yeah.
So like we talked about last time, you started wearing Ouji and not really Lolita, right?
Yeah. I was always interested in like romantic goth styles.
Mm-hmm.
So Ouji and Lolita kind of follow on from that really easily.
Mm-hmm.
But I used to be like way more interested in like men's gothic fashion rather than like the dresses and like the feminine side of it. And then when I found Lolita and Ouji, I kind of started in Ouji and then got into Lolita and then back again.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Was it all at the same time you were experimenting the different style as just different cuts, or you had your face that was more Lolita and then more Ouji?
It was kind of all at the same time,
okay.
Really, because I think like I tried to put together sort of Ouji outfits when I was a teenager that were pretty terrible.
I mean, like, we were Ita. Is there something as Ita Ouji?
Yeah, I don't know if that's a thing, but I was it.
Okay.
Like, and yeah, but I kind of also got into Lolita and started doing that at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously through the years I've worn both styles.
Okay.
I just wear Ouji more than Lolita now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I noticed that, yeah. And so when you started, you were not out as a male yet? So
no.
But you still wanted to wear more male fashion?
Yeah. So yeah, I always liked sort of men's formal clothing and stuff, and I wore like a waistcoat and a tailcoat to school and everything.
Cool.
Yeah. So I always wasn't more interested in men's fashion.
Okay. And so at what age did you start the transformation? Transition?
It's complicated because there's always sort of a time when you know yourself, and then you kind of have to wait until it's right to come out in your life, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, for me, I've always kind of, not like always known, because sometimes you just don't know, but I knew for a lot longer than anybody else did. Well,
okay.
Although I say that, but a lot of people weren't really surprised.
Okay.
You know?
Which is good, I guess.
But I guess like publicly and to like other people and my doctors and stuff when I was 26.
26, okay.
Yeah.
From the moment you knew yourself until the moment you were out and you decided to publicly do it, why was it that long? You had to work on yourself, or so what was the process in your head of I would like to do it but I'm not open to do it yet, or?
Yeah, a lot of it's just fear.
Okay.
Really. Like, there was a lot of people that I was friends with like a while ago that were just kind of horrible, and I sort of tried to mention like gender issues and stuff with them, and they were always really like dismissive and rude about it. So I just dropped it, you know. I decided it wasn't that important, and then I had other stuff to worry about, and a lot of it was just fear of medical professionals.
Oh,
like,
I can imagine
because I was kind of like aware that pursuing a transition would mean being in contact with doctors and hospitals and everything for so many more years, and I just wasn't sure if I could handle that or not.
Okay.
Because like the friends and that were kind of really terrible about it, I just stopped talking to them. So
okay, yeah, so
that's fine.
You just removed them from your life. Okay.
Yeah.
And then even after, so they've not come back to your life now. Okay. But I think maybe that's better.
Oh, definitely.
They were not ready to embrace you for who you are.
Yeah, like there's way more people that were fine with it and stuck with me. So
yeah, so you like sort who's good in your life.
Yeah.
Since you were already wearing female and male clothes before the transition, did you find any difficulty when your body changed to adapt it to your fashion, or since you made it work for your previous body, was it easier this way? So.
I mean, a lot of it is just body image, like, because I'm more confident, there's more things I'm happy wearing, but also, you know, being on hormone treatments and stuff, it changes the way your muscles build.
Okay, that's
so
interesting.
You know, a lot of stuff started fitting me differently and sitting different on my body, and I had to kind of relearn what clothes looked nice on me.
Okay, yeah. So did you change a lot? Did you have to get rid of clothes that you loved because of that?
There was some that just wouldn't fit anymore. Like a lot of dresses, I had all the vampire prints from Alice and the Pirates, and I loved them so much, but the dresses just didn't fit my shoulders anymore, and the skirts and stuff just wouldn't fit my waist anymore.
Okay.
And I was just like, I'm just going to give these up. It's
Okay.
fine. But there's a lot of shirts and things that didn't really fit me properly before
Okay.
that fit me perfectly now.
Oh, which is good. Then
Yeah.
it was not all in that bad way. Also, you had good ways.
It honestly feels a bit like before I was shopping for the body that I thought I had, you know.
Which is good.
Yeah.
You should always do that.
Yeah, but like a lot of the clothes I've had for a long time fit me a lot better now. So I just think on subconscious level,
Yeah.
I knew what shape I was going to be.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
While you were doing your hormone therapy, were you still passing as a woman, and then did you feel like you had to wear more of the masculine fashion to be in tune with yourself than the Lolita?
Yeah, completely. Because like I started out like very feminine, honestly, and a lot of the time I still don't really get read as male, but before taking any treatments or anything, there was a lot of the time I just couldn't wear anything feminine. Sometimes even wearing Ouji fashion felt too feminine.
Okay.
And I would just wear like jeans and a shirt and try and be as like masculine as possible. And like I always wanted to have like long hair, but as soon as it grows out a little bit, I would look really girly, and that would just make me want to like claw my face off. So I would cut it and keep it short. But now, like, obviously I'm wearing a wig right now, but I am growing my hair out a little bit, and I feel kind of fine dressed like this because I kind of like how I look now.
Because you can accept your body. And
yeah.
Good for you.
Thank you.
What make you take the leap to transition?
I think I always knew I would have to do something about it, but eventually I just got to the point where I couldn't stand not doing it anymore. You know, like, because most of my life, every time I felt a lot of gender dysphoria come up, I would kind of just have to put it on the back burner because there was always something else that needed dealt with first. And then eventually I just thought, I can't keep doing that. I've got to deal with this because everything else in my life will be easier when I do.
Yeah.
And I was right. So
okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy it worked out.
Yeah, eventually you just get to a point where you can't not do it anymore.
What tip would you give to somebody who are afraid to do the transition? They would like to do it, but they're just not ready yet?
I think if you're not ready yet, then you're not ready yet. And that's almost a harder thing to accept, but it's a really important one because, like, I technically came out really late in life. Most, like, a lot of trans people are younger than me. It's quite, it's not like rare, but it's quite uncommon to come out later in life. But I think I really just wasn't in a ready for it earlier, and I couldn't have coped with it earlier. And even though like I always knew that I needed to do this eventually, I had to wait until I was in a place where I had people around me that were going to be supportive, and a place where I could accept myself as well. Honestly, I think if there's someone out there watching who is, maybe you know yourself that you are going to eventually have to transition because you are trans, but you're not ready to come out yet, that's okay. You don't have to yet. You can wait until you're ready to do that.
Don't rush into that.
Yeah, like you don't have to like push yourself if you're not comfortable yet. You know?
And what would help to be comfortable doing that? Like having the perfect setting around you, like supportive people at least? Yeah,
definitely. Like find people that are supportive and will be fine with it. Maybe you can come out to people privately, like just close friends or just a partner, and get their support first. And once you know you're going to be safe, then do it, I guess.
Okay.
Because when you do that stuff and you get people's support, you kind of get less afraid of it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right?
And you have somebody with you to help you through that.
So,
do you ever encounter transphobia, and how do you deal with it?
Honestly, I don't find it that often.
Okay.
Just sometimes, and it's always different. I mean, obviously, like the worst offenders are just medical professionals.
We'll talk about that later,
like,
because
they are just the absolute top of the heap of shit. Like they're the worst. But yeah, within like Lolita fashion and stuff, yeah, like I said, there was that small group of friends I had a couple of years ago that were just really horrible, and I'm sure they've matured since. I hope they have, but a lot of their attitudes kept me in the closet for a few more years than I really needed. But we don't talk to each other anymore, so that kind of sorted itself out. And the rest of it, I don't know. Like, some people get nasty comments online or whatever, but if I do get them, I tend to just forget immediately.
Okay,
so,
that's good.
Yeah, like I'm sure there have been people trying to have a go at me, like through comments and whatever, but I honestly couldn't tell you what they said or how often it happens.
That's good. Then you don't focus on that, so you move on. Would you say that wearing this fashion helped you to be better, more confident about yourself?
I'm not sure, honestly. I don't know if it's the fashion in any way, really, so much as just having the right people around you that helps. Obviously this fashion is part of me and who I am. I don't know that it's like directly influenced my confidence.
Okay, that's interesting.
Like maybe it has in some ways, because I'm used to people reacting to me in public, I guess. It's like so much so that I don't really notice it anymore. So I know a lot of trans people get really sensitive about being stared at or watched in public, because, you know, that's a constant threat of potential violence. It's like something you have to be aware of. But a lot of them just get self-conscious about it and their appearance. And because I've always been into alternative fashions, I don't even really notice people looking at me in the street anymore. I just don't. So I've never really worried that people are looking at me because I'm trans, or that they're like watching me because I'm trans or whatever, because I honestly don't even see them anymore.
Because you're used to having people look at you because of how you dress. So it might have helped you for that.
Yeah, it might have, really.
Self-conscious about being trans.
It's kind of trained me to not notice people staring.
That's cool. Yeah. Because my question was that so many Lolitas or people I know told me, oh, because of that fashion that I was wearing normal clothes, and then when I realized that I could wear that fashion, I feel so much prettier, so much more confident, and it helped them also with their mental health. Yeah. But maybe that's
I think like maybe it's just a wording thing or something, but I think maybe those people don't realise that they did that themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
you mean it's not the clothes, it's by
it's
wearing the clothes that
yeah, because it doesn't matter what kind of fashion they got into or what hobby they got into, they chose to pursue it. They chose to pursue something that they like to make themselves feel more confident. And I totally get feeling like it was the fashion that made you confident.
Mm-hmm.
But personally, I think they did that themselves. That came from within them.
Yeah, but also I feel like, because in my case, I like the way I am better because this fashion fits me and this is what I like and I feel good about that, then I'm happy. But maybe for some people, just they feel happy about wearing H&M or whatever, and so it's just, or maybe not even the fashion, or just playing video games or whatever they like, and having hobby or something that makes them happy.
Yeah, it's just about having the strength to pursue something that
you love.
Makes you happy.
Mm. Do you believe that clothes have gender?
Okay. This is a complicated one. Obviously, pieces of clothing don't have genders, right? They can't, because they're inanimate objects. But I think the problem is that obviously there's gendered expectations assigned to different styles of clothes by every society in the world, really. And even that kind of varies, you know, different groups and different time periods and different countries have different gendered clothing. But there is always some, like, a social expectation around gender and clothes. Actual clothes themselves don't have genders, you know, so it's kind of complicated that way.
But I totally understand what you say. And for example, you said that like Ouji fashion would seem very feminine for you at some point, and if you look at, like, it's modeled on like ancient clothing that where now people would think this is a very feminine way of wearing male fashion for now, but also at some point male were wearing skirts and it was acceptable, and now female can wear jeans and pants and it's acceptable. So it's a very complicated question, but I think it all comes from what the society expects us to do, and you go out of this. When you wear Lolita right now, how do you feel? Does it look too weird? Do you feel more feminine, or is it just like a different cut of clothing?
I think it's just a different cut of clothing to me, really.
So you don't feel like you're dressed as a woman or anything?
Nah, because I'm still me. I'm just wearing a dress, you know? Like, I don't really... I know some people might disagree with this, but I don't really feel like dressing a particular way changes who I am or my personality in any way. But I know that other people looking at me are going to, like, expect something different. And that is a problem, but the clothes don't change me. So when I'm wearing Lolita, it's just fun. And
how did the general community take it? Like,
oh, everyone else was great.
Okay, like, so then they were supportive in your journey, and how did your family react to that? I
don't speak to my family, so I don't even know if they know. Okay.
So even before your transition, you were already kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like they might know.
So that made it easier for you?
Yeah, that was just a thing that I didn't have to worry about at all.
Less people to go out to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can't really give any advice on that. I'm sorry.
Okay, fair enough. Can we talk about your surgery?
We can.
Because it's been some of a traumatic thing.
Yeah.
Basically because the way it was handled, not because of this, like, the body transformation itself wasn't as difficult as the whole bullshit of the medical process.
Yeah. Oh, the actual, like, bodily transformation was great. Like,
that's what, like, we needed,
the best thing potentially that's happened in my life.
Okay.
But it's top 10 anyway. But yeah, the way that it's handled is just, it was a nightmare from start to finish.
So how long after you started the hormone treatment, then how long did you have to wait to do the surgery?
It was 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
It's like a standard procedure, so you were under...
Yeah, it's kind of an average of 2 years that you have to be on hormones before you can get surgery here, anyway.
Okay.
So that's what had to happen. But also, like, our NHS is completely, like, a mess right now, so the waiting lists for everything are really, really long. Yeah.
And so you had to have an appointment first to schedule it.
Yeah.
And there was a long wait just for that?
Yeah, that might have been a whole other year.
Whoa.
For that.
Just to wait to get the appointment to try and schedule it?
And I had to do the whole same thing for the hormone therapy before that. Like it's been 5 years for me now. Yeah.
And also before the hormone therapy, did you say that you have to legally change your name and everything, like civil stuff, before the hormone therapy?
Yeah, you're supposed to do all of that first to kind of prove that you're serious.
Okay.
Which is kind of a whole problem in itself, but medical professionals, they just want to make life hard for you deliberately. That's all I can really say.
Okay.
Because they do.
But you said it was also not only because of the transition, but the NHS was also already complicated before, right?
Yeah.
Like
for
normal people.
Yeah, like I've had like other medical issues my whole life, and they have never once, not even one time, given me the right diagnosis or medication. I've had to find a private doctor for literally every single correct treatment and correct test that I've ever had done.
Wow. But I think this is something that would be different from one country to another, the way they handle healthcare and through insurances or not and everything.
Yeah.
So,
it's also different if you just have money, because you can absolutely get a private surgeon here if you want.
Okay.
You know, I know that there's private surgeons just through in Edinburgh, but you need to be able to pull up like I think it's £5,000 or £6,000.
Okay.
Which
that's
you know, I mean, if you have the money, then absolutely go for that. But
absolutely.
That wasn't really an option for me.
No.
I have to get
fixing
a whole second round of surgery to fix it.
Okay.
Because they can't do anything right the first time, apparently. So that's a whole extra world of stress.
And so you have to also go to a different country to have your surgery.
Yep.
And have a hotel and everything.
Yes.
Wow. And so after that second round of surgery, so we're talking about top surgery.
Yeah.
Then will it be all okay? And
I hope so.
You don't have to do anything else, and
I hope so.
You're fixed.
Yeah. Maybe.
Let's hope so. So you were active in the J fashion Lolita community when you started your transition?
Yeah.
So you said you have to travel to another country and have a hotel. So it's not like you have a procedure in the hospital and then stay the night on observation. So what is that?
I stayed one night, but that's because they finished the surgery quite late in the evening. Okay. So I was just like coming out of anaesthetic at night. Then you just have to go to a hotel.
And then wait there and hope for the best.
Yeah. Because there's the first couple of days you have to stay like 2 or 3 nights, because for the first couple of days you still have like the drainage tubes sewn in under your skin. So you've kind of got all these tubes under your skin and then bags of your own blood.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not nice.
Would you stay like the whole day in the hotel and watch TV, or do you?
Yeah. Well, I had my partner with me to bring me food.
Perfect.
So that's okay.
And that helps when they're supportive.
Yeah, because otherwise you couldn't do it alone. You definitely couldn't, because you've just had major surgery.
Yeah.
You know, like, 'cause it's not even just like removing tissue. Like they have to cut your chest like your muscle wall
Mm-hmm.
and sew that back together. Like the surgeon referred to it as autopsy surgery.
Okay.
Because they have to like cut you open and put you back together with tubes under the skin and everything. And then the next day they're just like, okay, go to your hotel with all these tubes and your bags and the strongest painkillers you've ever been on in your life.
And then deal with all that yourself.
Yep.
Is it because it's the way the system works here, or is it because it's a gender transition and they don't care and it's poorly handled, or?
I think it's both.
Okay.
Because I know some people who've had like other surgeries, like women who've had like breast reduction surgeries and whatever, and they stay in the hospital for a week or 2 weeks
Okay.
to recover fully in the hospital.
Yeah. Under the care of everybody.
Yeah, under the
That's
care
like-
of a medical professional.
Yeah. Not like
But-
alone in your hotel room.
But they don't consider like trans medical care necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Like legally it's considered like
Cosmetics
not-
or something.
yeah, it's cosmetic or it's like non-urgent or
Okay.
whatever.
Oh yeah.
So they're just kind of like, well, we'll maybe give you one night, but other than that, you can't stay in the hospital.
Okay.
Yeah.
But breast reduction would be something that is, I don't know, because
Yeah,
it
exactly. Like it's
also like
it really
cosmetic.
is. It's
Yeah.
like just a slightly less extreme version of the same thing,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it completely is just because they really, really don't like trans people,
Okay.
essentially, and the system is kind of built around that. So that's the reality of it.
I think in Switzerland it's not even paid by the insurance. So if you want to do that, you have to pay it all by yourself, and medical
Yeah.
care can be expensive in Switzerland.
Yeah.
So because they would say it's not life threatening, and so then it's you can do it if you want, but pay for it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, a lot of like trans activism right now is about like getting the medical professionals to see our treatment as necessary and as life-saving, because it literally is,
it
like
is.
it genuinely is, but they just don't care, essentially. Like that's what it keeps coming back to.
But I think maybe like even 10 or 20 years ago it would have been even more difficult, so do you have hopes that in the future it will be better?
Yeah, definitely.
Because I think the rights for trans people and the mentality of everybody is slowly changing and maybe going in the right direction.
Yeah, I think so.
I would say
Like-
slowly from my outside being, but then
It seems slow, and every so often there are things that happen that seem to be like a step backwards, but overall things are definitely easier a little bit now, so hopefully that keeps up.
okay, so we have high hopes for the trans people in the future that they'll have better service and
Maybe one day we won't have to go to a Premier Inn with bags of our own blood. That would be great, because that sucked.
can you imagine that?
Yeah, it's just weird.
And so did you feel that this whole part was part of a traumatic thing that made you who you are now, or it was just like if you were sick and you had to go through this and it sucked because it was poorly handled, but then that's it? Or like
I'm not sure, honestly. I think like I wasn't that badly affected by it because I am just old enough and have enough life experience to kind of deal with it, which is kind of part of what I mean when I said earlier, like I couldn't have handled this when I was younger.
Absolutely.
Like I think
Teenagers or-
I think like being put through all of this and being made to travel and like recover alone and have like deal with all that medical stuff myself in a hotel room when I was in my early 20s or a teenager, that would have completely broken me.
Yeah, I can imagine that. It's traumatic.
Yeah, like I think the only reason I'm kind of okay with it right now is because I've just had time to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good. And apparently you have the support that you need to
Yeah.
also help you
That
go
too.
through that, and that's very
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, it's good.
Good.
Like, I can't imagine having to go through that without, like, a supportive partner and supportive friends.
Absolutely.
Or without being an adult that can handle it. But some people do. A lot of people do. Yeah.
So, are you fully happy right now? Like,
Very much.
you're yourself, finally?
Yeah, hopefully when they do the next round of surgery and try and fix me a little bit, then I'll be able to just be a little more confident again.
Mm-hmm.
But right now I feel pretty good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. So that's what you should see. We did not see you before, like,
Yeah.
how would you say that? Like, miserable. But right now I see somebody is really confident, and you transpire being good about yourself, and so that's cool. Thank you. That doesn't mean that you might not have your bad moments or anything, but
And everyone does.
yeah.
Like, everyone's got their own demons to deal with.
Yeah.
But they're a lot easier to deal with now than they were before.
Awesome. So I'm so happy.
Yeah, me too.
Congratulations for having gone through all that and
Thank
survived.
you. Yeah.
That was a journey, I guess.
Yeah, and it's not quite over yet.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
oh, we're getting there.
So thank you so much for having answered all my
Yeah.
questions, and I hope that it helped some of you guys seeing his journey. And go check out his art. He makes amazingly good art.
Thank you.
He painted me. I
did.
this dress?
Yeah.
Or maybe it's a chocolate rosette. It's another chocolate
That
dress.
was chocolate rosette.
It was. If you want to be painted as gorgeously as he did me, so go hire him on his Etsy, and he also has Patreon.
I do.
And an amazing YouTube channel where he's doing Ouji transformation, and he transformed me in Ouji. So we spent a whole weekend with Paulina, Cupcake Kami-sama. We did Ouji transformations and interviews and a lot of tons of videos. So we'll put a playlist at the end with all of those cool videos. Support him.
Please do.
And we realized that he might be like the only Ouji channel on YouTube. So if you want to see more of that, make him like the famous person he should become, and invite him everywhere, because amazing person.
That's the future.
That's the future.
Yeah, thank you for interviewing me again.
Thank you for agreeing.
Yeah.
So, and thank you for making it mint and pink. Can you see
I
that
thought it was
around me? Yes, yes, I feel so at home now here. Gorgeous.
Yeah. I wanted it to match.
Yeah, you do. Thank you so much. And we did not even talk about the lovely Silver, who was so quiet.
Silver.
Introduce yourself to the internet.
Oh,
Everybody
now
knows
you're
that.
lying down. Okay.
Yeah, anyways.
Yeah, I see you. There you go. Here she is. Here she is.
Hello, Silver.
You want to say hello? You want to say hello? Okay.
Yeah. I think that representation matters in any kind of ways, so I try my best to do it.
Yeah.
Because everybody can be kawaii.
Everybody can be kawaii.
Yes.
Even me.
Even you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.